It's a quiet Thursday evening in Vallejo, California. The kind of evening where the streets are mostly empty and the city feels like it's holding its breath, waiting for something. But no one could have predicted the horror that was about to unfold. At 10:30 p.m., a woman, panicked and out of breath, burst through the door of a local gas station. She's disheveled, her clothes torn, and her eyes wild with fear. "Help me," she gasps. "My daughter, she's been kidnapped." The woman's name is Rachel Carmichael, and her daughter, 6-year-old Emily, has gone missing from their home just moments earlier. Rachel claims that a man had broken into their house, taken her daughter, and left her bound and gagged in the garage. Desperate, she managed to escape and ran to the nearest place where she could get help. But as police begin investigating, the story begins to unravel. What they find doesn't add up. The house shows no signs of forced entry, and the neighbor's security footage shows Rachel walking out of the house alone, just moments before she supposedly found the crime scene. Something isn't right, and the deeper they dig, the more the lines between victim and suspect blur. Hold up, but before we dive in, let's introduce our key characters in this chilly story. 1. Rachel Carmichael. The victim, Rachel, is a 34-year-old mother, well-liked by her community, and known for her work at a local nonprofit. She is described as soft-spoken but dependable. Rachel's relationship with her ex-husband, Kyle Carmichael, had been strained ever since their divorce a year ago. Though she's always put on a brave face, Rachel's life has been far from perfect. Still, no one could have ever imagined that she'd be involved in anything criminal. 2. Emily Carmichael. The missing child Emily is a lively and curious 6-year-old with curly brown hair and a love for fairy tales. She had been a happy child, but recently there were signs of unease. Emily had become withdrawn at school, but no one thought much of it. Her disappearance was a terrifying event that rattled the community to its core. 3. Kyle Carmichael. The ex-husband Kyle, 38, is a successful businessman who had been in a bitter custody battle with Rachel. After their divorce, the custody arrangement for Emily had been contentious, with both parties accusing the other of being unfit. Kyle had an alibi for the night of the kidnapping, but as detectives begin questioning everyone, they realize that Kyle may have more involvement in the case than they first thought. And 4. Detective Sarah Williams, the investigator. Detective Williams, 45, is a seasoned investigator with Vallejo Police. She's tough, meticulous, and not afraid to ask the hard questions. Though initially sympathetic to Rachel, she begins to have doubts as the investigation progresses. As we dig deeper into this investigation, I just want to remind you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on any of our future uploads. We post true crime, suspense-filled stories every day, and each case is more shocking than the last. If you're new to the channel, be sure to catch up with our previous videos to immerse yourself fully in these gripping tales. Now, let's jump right back into the story. The next morning, the police launch a full-scale search for little Emily. However, despite Rachel's frantic story, there are no signs of her daughter, no ransom note, no clues as to who might have taken Emily or why. The house is combed for evidence, but it's eerily clean, no fingerprints, no blood, no sign of forced entry. As Detective Williams and her team continue their investigation, more discrepancies begin to surface. Rachel's behavior is inconsistent. One moment, she's crying and pleading for her daughter's safe return, and the next, she's uncharacteristically calm and distant. The neighbor's security footage shows Rachel walking out of the house alone. But why wasn't she calling for help at that moment? Why was she leaving the house after the alleged kidnapping occurred? Rachel's phone records show a series of text messages sent to an unknown number. When detectives trace the number, it leads them to a dead end. Rachel's story starts to sound less like that of an innocent mother and more like that of someone hiding a terrible secret. Could she have staged her daughter's kidnapping? As the investigation progresses, Kyle Carmichael is re-interviewed. He denies any involvement and maintains that he was at a business meeting during the time of the kidnapping. But detectives find out that Kyle had been struggling financially after the divorce, and his bitterness toward Rachel had only grown. Could he have orchestrated the kidnapping to punish her? Or was he truly innocent, just a man caught in the middle of a twisted case? Detective Williams pieces together a troubling new lead, a hidden bank account tied to Rachel's name, with large sums of money transferred into it just days before Emily's disappearance. Even more disturbing, the account had been opened in Emily's name, and Rachel had been depositing money into it regularly. The motive? Detective Williams begins to suspect that Rachel was not only faking her daughter's kidnapping, but she may have been planning something even more sinister, the ultimate escape from her own life. Rachel finally confesses to a part of the truth. She admits to staging the kidnapping in a desperate attempt to escape the crushing pressure of her life. But the confession is incomplete. She denies harming Emily, claiming that someone else was involved. Could Rachel be protecting the real perpetrator, or is she, in fact, the one responsible for her daughter's disappearance? As the investigation deepens, Detective Williams uncovers even more red flags. Rachel had been in contact with a mysterious individual who had been blackmailing her, threatening to expose damaging secrets from her past unless she agreed to hand over Emily. But who was this person, and did they have a hand in the kidnapping? Or was Rachel acting alone? Theories start to emerge. Was a mysterious blackmailer someone from Rachel's past? Did Kyle have a secret accomplice? Or was Rachel's mental state so unstable that she fabricated the entire ordeal, dragging everyone around her into the nightmare? Rachel is arrested for the false reporting of a crime, but the case remains open. Despite the evidence pointing to her involvement, Detective Williams is left with an unsettling feeling. The true story behind Emily's disappearance has yet to be uncovered. Days later, a body is discovered in an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of Vallejo. It's Emily. But how did she end up there? Was Rachel involved in her death? Or was she a victim of a much darker force? The police are left with lingering questions, and the case remains one of the most haunting mysteries in Vallejo. Was Rachel Carmichael a desperate mother trying to escape her tumultuous life, or did she truly orchestrate the kidnapping and murder of her own daughter? What do you think? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. And if you haven't already, like, subscribe, and share this video for more true crime mysteries that leave you questioning everything. Stay tuned for more investigations, and thank you for watching. See you in the other one.